up, everybody? It's TERZO. We're back here with another review. I have recovered from COVID, and funny enough, 2 weeks after I recovered from COVID, now I feel sick again. It just never stops. But as we are here today, I have the new Tric or Treat Studios accessory pack that they just issued out, and the price tag was $80. And I'm telling you right now, from the packaging and from the pictures that are shown in the back, it's looking really good. So I'm excited to review this. Let's do this, guys. All right, what up, everybody? So we're gonna open this thing up, and I actually have a pair of boots specifically made for 78 Myers that me and my crew made, and I have a head sculpt for a Myers flashback run that we're doing from the Halloween Kills movie, but I figured I'd use this since I don't have any extra Myers heads. I'd use this to make a figure out of it, see what it looks like when it's finished. All right, let me get a scalpel and we can chop. I don't got a scalpel. I found one of my tools that I use when I make figures, and they are very sharp pliers, and they are working great. Now, I opened it up. Now, real quick, if you guys can see, when you open everything up, it's got a window display, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna see what's going on. And yeah, all right. Already, I'm really impressed with what I see. So what you have here, on the left-hand side, you have a picture of Michael Myers. You have a picture of Michael Myers wearing the sheet, trying to imitate Bob. And as you can see on the right panel, you have the Tombstone, Judith Myers on there, and one of the babysitters he killed in the movie, in Halloween, the original. And also, in the middle, of course, you have a nice display window. You have a nice window display case. You can see a Tombstone there. You see the black t-shirt. You see the coveralls that are actually surprisingly looking spectacular. You see sculpted hands, and I can see there's a lot of details. The phone, which looks really incredible. The pumpkin's looking great. And the Bob sheet that's looking decent. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the material. And then I have the Bob glasses. Now, I do got to mention, obviously, these guys, I believe, released this because, you know, they originally released this 1978 Myers figure, and you know, it disappointed in certain ways. The black shirt underneath was just literally like a piece of cloth just going over. It didn't have any sides, so they just used regular masking tape. Not even masking tape, just regular tape that you would use for arts and crafts to hold it together. Just the hands left something to be desired and all that, and it wasn't a whole package. And I feel like they were kind of trying to fix the situation by releasing this, and it looks like they amped up their quality a lot. So I'm excited, so let's open this thing up. So as you guys can see, Tombstone, you'll have your shirt, the hands at the bottom, the phone, the pumpkin, the coveralls, and the Bob's glasses up here to the top, your top right, my top left, and then the Bob sheet. Now the Bob sheet obviously looks like it has a permanent shape to the head, so it will look just fine. So I am interested to see how that works. And the coveralls look really good. There's only one thing that I picked out that I'm being kind of nitpicky with right now, as soon as I open the package, but it's just a little stitch issue on the collar. I think mine is just a little loose. So let's just open this up. I don't know if there's any tape. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna start with the Bob sheet. Alright, so the Bob sheet is this stretchy felt material, synthetic, and it has a permanent head sculpt under it. It's a black sculpt, it's just nothing, an expressionless sculpt, but it's permanently adhered to the sheet. So all you have to do is place it on there, and obviously it has the blackest eye look because it's painted black, and then you put the Bob glasses on there on the figure. I believe it has a wire at the bottom of the coat. The wires, you know, it's pretty pliable. You can pose it. I believe the material might be wrong, though, because the material, it makes it very hard for it to drape correctly. I think it's a little too thick. If they could have gone with a thinner material. But with a little bit of styling, it's going to be good. This is actually more impressive than the Sideshow material, I think, in my honest opinion. So we have the Bob glasses that I got to take out now, and you want to be very careful now. These are very thin. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these come broken. Alright, so two things. They're very nice, clear plastic to represent the lens One thing on mine, whoever painted these left a little black dot on the lens, probably as paint ran as it was drying. So that's a little disappointing, but you could tell if you guys get one of those that actually works, I mean not works, but isn't broken or have defects, it'll be pretty impressive. Now, looking on it on the Bob sheet right now, it's kind of hard to pose because of the material, but it doesn't perfectly sit in front of the eyes because the material is so thick it kind of pushes it up. So there's definitely going to have to be some futzing to do to fix this. Now the beautiful thing about this is only an $80 package, so you can't go wrong here. Alright, Tombstone, I gotta push up on the bottom because I can't take it out that way. Alright. Come on, Tombstone. Alright, so we have the Tombstone. It's heavy, it's accurate, all the logos are right, the names, but there's hardly any weathering, and I am a little disappointed by that. Other than that, it's great. There's a little bit of weathering at the bottom, going all the way around, but it looks like somebody just took a brush and just literally just did one streak, that's it, with a little bit of brown. So you're definitely going to need to black wash this or have somebody black wash this, and what I mean by that is you take a little bit of water, a little drops of black paint, mix it in, and then you just brush it all on this Tombstone, especially inside the letters, and it'll bring out the details, and then you just wipe it off as you apply it, and it'll make this pop more. So definitely the Tombstone, if I had to give it a 10, I would give this a 6 out of 10. With a little bit of black wash, going to bring it up to a 10. It's just the weathering, it just takes a little bit of time. The Bob sheet I would give a 7 out of 10. The glasses I would give a 9 out of 10 if they didn't have that little issue on mine. The shirt, it's just a black t-shirt, but obviously they included this because before it was kind of a little bit of a letdown what they did. But 10 out of 10 shirt, love it. Good material, thick. You can tell they definitely wanted to fix the mistake they made. Alright, next, the pumpkin. Alright, so we have battery operated, which I'm assuming that it turns on wherever the switch is. Alright, so it does turn on, turn off. That's great. And it does have a little screw, so if you need to put little batteries. Pumpkin is sculpted beautifully. Paint is okay. It's not horrible. This is probably the best painted mass-produced pumpkin I've seen. The one on the sideshow, utter disappointment in my opinion. This one, hell of a lot better. There is a little bit of a seam line, obviously because this was cast in 2 pieces and put together. So the seam line, it works for it because pumpkins have lines on the side and all these bumps, but at the same time, this one's a little deep, but you're only going to see it from the front. But the pumpkin, I give it a 7 out of 10. Light up feature. It has the flicker effect just like in the movie at the beginning of the intro. Absolutely. I think it's awesome. And it's pretty good weight too. Now let's go to the foam, which is one of the parts that I'm very, very excited about. Alright, so obviously the foam is plastic. The turn dial actually turns, which is good. The foam comes apart and it's actually stretchy wire. Now I would be careful, I wouldn't tug on this too much because it's probably only being held by a little bit of glue. Definitely a 9 out of 10. I think this accessory is great. It's accurate, you know, so a custom artist did this. I believe it was Doggy Dog. It's not Andy Manoff. I believe it was Doggy Dog that did the accessories for this. The pumpkin, the hands, the phone, and all that. I believe so. Tanilla did the Coveralls, who's also another custom artist. So the mass-produced game is taking all our custom artists, and I love it. I think it's actually pretty awesome. So this is definitely cool. So you can do that iconic scene where he's holding the phone and just breathing like a creeper. Now the hands. These hands are awesome. Probably some of the best Meyer hands I've seen. It has the veins. The vein is painted beautifully. Has a great skin tone. These are probably the best Meyer's hands I've honestly ever seen. Has a knife holding hand. Now, one thing that would have made this great if they actually included a better knife. If they included a knife with this release, which they didn't, because the knife that came with that Trick or Treat Studios is bad. So, but if they included a better knife, this is already the ultimate package. I mean, even if you didn't get the original release, you can get this, buy yourself a head sculpt on eBay, and then just finish it that way, because these coveralls, I can already tell you, are better. And or you can get a custom head sculpt, custom boots, whatever. But these hands are great. They have a lot of expression to them. You have your angry hands, choking hands. You have your fist and the ones that hold the knife. Gripping hands. This is great. This is really awesome. All right, so put that down. Then you have the coveralls, which is the main thing. And I'm telling you, these are amazing. I'm telling you, if you handed these randomly, you'd be like, yeah, I just made these custom coveralls. I'd be like, dude, those are amazing. What custom artist did this? These are great. It has the elastic on the waist. It stretches. The stitching is perfect. There is one little mishap on my stitching here. On the collar, it's a little loose, but I believe that could be just a one-off situation. Everything's accurate. The wrist part has the upper wave motion of the stitching, has all the buttons in the correct areas. The zipper is very nicely done. I'm telling you, Tenela gave them an amazing blueprint and they nailed it. The material's thin, but I like the thin material because it drapes easier. It's easier to mold. And when you think about it, when you bring something from 1/1 scale, a human size, and you bring it to 1/6 scale, the material has to shrink as well, depending on what they're wearing at a 1/1 scale, and this is proper. I think this is amazing. I'm super, super excited. Can't wait to put this together, so let's do it. All right, guys, so I have a body. I believe this is just a TTM19 body, clone body. It's one of the thin ones. Myers doesn't have this extravagant, like, large body or muscular body. So I usually have these, and then I pad them to the right proportioning. You know, you can always add padding, and to make it to the perfect size. I was actually doing something with this figure earlier. I was trying to customize it or something, but perfect timing for the video. I didn't expect this to come. All of a sudden, I got an email from Trick or Treat Studio saying it's ready to ship. I says, okay, let's go. All right, so zipper works perfectly fine, nice and smooth. You slide the body in here. Now, it is going to be, some people are just, who are new, you know, to figure collecting, might want to be afraid of, they could be afraid of ripping it, but you put it up to the waist, you swing the arms to the back. Now, I'm assuming they made this to work with their original 78 run release that they did. So obviously that body will work, but that body to me is junk. I forgot the shirt. Come on, man. That was the main thing that was wrong with their release, and you forgot the shirt? Forgot their redemption moment. My alarm was going off. I actually have the day off work today, so. Alright, so I got the shirt on, and it sits just fine. I just have to futz with the shoulders a little bit. And it's pretty easy to put this stuff on. Obviously, you just got to work with it. Slide one side up, then go to the other, slide the other side up. Just because you don't want to break anything or tear anything. So, there you go. Zip this bad boy up. Now remember, I have put no padding on this thing right now. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm just going off of what I got. I'll probably do some more customizing because obviously I got to put padding to the waist to make it a little bit larger. The elastic obviously makes it a little difficult. Obviously there's no pegs on these boots right now, so I'm just going to slide them in, just kind of place them and see where they go. Now remember, you're gonna probably have to futz this a little bit. I'm just trying to do something quick to show you what it could possibly look like on a body and all that. Now let me go get some wrist pegs. So I have some wrist pegs. Just put those on there. And then we can. I do not have a knife, unfortunately, so you're gonna have to bear with me on that one, but we'll just put some hands on there. See what it looks like. We're a little bit open. This is just quick 5-second futzing. You know, I gotta add some padding, obviously. Bring it down a little bit. I'm gonna actually have, I can already tell you, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. I'm thoroughly surprised with how good they did this. I just gotta fix one little fold here. This is the Myers. You got a little bit of a lean back, but this is the Myers that you could possibly have. You know, obviously different head sculpt and all that. So this is actually really impressive. I got to give this whole release a 9 out of 10. Other than the little small QC issues, I'm glad they did this. I have to say I'm kind of glad that they made a mistake with the original release and they had to up their quality, because it shows you the quality that they can do and provide. And they obviously changed the coveralls, the color of the coveralls, because the original release that they did was navy blue, and this one was a little bit more of a charcoal gray, because there's 3 different colors to Meyer coveralls depending on what version of the movie you're watching. VHS is spruce green, DVD or the new Blu-ray is navy blue, and now the DVDs I believe are the charcoal gray. So it really goes to what you prefer, but I have to say these are amazing. These are truly, truly amazing. I've held many Yunsels in hand, which is a custom seamstress who is considered to do the best Myers coveralls. I've held many Tennillas. These are a pair of Tennillas, but they're reproduced. These are just in the same league. You know what I'm saying? I've held Once Customs coveralls. This is just as amazing, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of custom artists buy this set just to customize and pull something out. But this is an amazing release. Great idea. Good on them for doing that. You know, sometimes, you know, people will be willing to pay more for better quality, so you don't have to fix things up like that. Obviously, you can have the phone in hand. You can have him doing the phone look, which is actually really, really cool. Then obviously, you can display it with the pumpkin. Tombstone actually sits up, but I would not trust it in a detail. If you just bump something or drop something next to it, this will fall. So definitely put something behind it to hold it up, help hold it up. See, right now I'm even having trouble. And then we have to do the bob look, but I'm gonna stop and take a few pictures of this because I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm liking it, and they did an excellent job. Way to go, Trick or Treat Studios. I mean, hell yeah. All right, guys, so as you guys can see, we have the boots here that me and my crew made, and they work perfectly with this. The pants overlap perfectly. The stitching's good, the material's great. Now the material's showing a little bit of shine here, but that's just because of the light and how it's reflecting off. So how you have your light posed in your DTOF will affect the look, obviously. Stitching, you have the waistband. Obviously I would put some padding there. You have the stitching on the wrist, very correct. Look at the hands. With the veins, they're beautifully painted. Stitching on the pockets, shape of the pockets, the zippers, great. All the buttons, the phone, truly. I believe, like I said, Doggy Doc did the accessories. Zoom for me, buddy. And look how good that is. The dial turns. Like I said, I would be careful with that wire. I wouldn't tug on it too much, even though it is elastic. It's just a head sculpt we made, but something that you get to look at how it could look like. You have the pumpkin. Look at that effect. The light effect, I think, is incredible. The paint could be a little deeper, but still one of the best painted and sculpted pumpkins I've seen for a mass produce. And then the Tombstone, as you see, very little weathering, just at the bottom, a line going through. I'm telling you, give it a black wash, you're in business. But as you guys can see, the back has got a little bit more weathering on the back than the front. I find that kind of interesting. The back is pretty simplistic. It's got these weird 6 black weathering dots. They're not as evident in real person. The camera's really bringing it out. But yeah, it's pretty thick, heavy. I believe it to be resin, to be honest. Kind of hard to tell. Mine has a little scratch now that I noticed. No. I think it's gone. You know, and back to the Myers. With a little bit of padding, I think these are some of the most amazing coveralls. The elastic on the waist is great. Collar's perfect. The color I'm really digging right now. I'm not a fan of the charcoal coveralls, but this color I'm digging. I don't know why, I'm a navy blue guy. Obviously, you guys got to remember, I did this in literally like 2 minutes. So with a little bit of futzing getting it perfect, this is... Whoever needs a custom Myers anymore. Unless you're getting a full one from a custom artist, like a complete full from scratch. As you guys know, I'm a custom collector. I collect mass produce as well, but I always love intermerging the realms together because I think it's just such a fun topic that they complement each other so well. I love it all. And then we can see, I'll grab the other hands so you guys can see. Get a knife holding hand, very well painted. I love this hand right here, just an angry choking hand, I guess you could use it for. Beautiful. Whoops. A relaxed hand, because Myers has the relaxed hands as well, as always. Once again, perfectly painted. And then the final hand, another choking hand. Perfect. Like I said, man, very, very impressed with this. Now let's put the bob sheet on and see what it looks like. Alright, so here is the bob look. Starting up. Now, I did this quickly, but still I could tell I was having trouble with making this look as decent as I could. And it actually looks like bob. The only problem is that it's glued so tightly to the face that you can see the lines, and it kind of ruins the bob expression a little bit. So I don't know if I'll use the bob sheet. It's cool to have. The materials is a little hard to pose and the way it drapes, but overall you can't hate on it. I think that's really exceptional. I actually really enjoy the glasses, but if you guys can see, if I can zoom in on my glasses a little bit, hang on. Right there, there's some blue ink from the paint when it ran when they were touching this up, and that was a little disappointing. See if I can take some alcohol and get rid of it. But as you guys can see, the head of the bob with these lines on the face kind of throw it off a little bit. And it's hard to pose the glasses exactly where you want. I mean, you could use these grooves on the side, but still. Alright guys, so I just wanted to talk here real quick because I took the bob sheet, right, and I ripped it off the head, and come to find out there's a Myers sculpt under here. So that being said, if you guys, this is the 78 sculpt that they had, if I can zoom in, on the run. They just shaved the head off obviously so they could put the bob sheet nice and flat, and they put a bunch of glue there and all that, but this is the sculpt. So here's a suggestion you guys can do. You guys can buy this accessory pack, and they didn't tell you that you would get this sculpt with it. Essentially, it's kind of like a little hidden gem. You can send this to a custom artist, or like a painter that I have, my partner. I can, if you guys want any questions or inquiries on what I'm about to tell you, just hit me up on my Instagram or comment below. So if you rip this off the bob sheet, first of all, the reason I did it was because I wanted the bob sheet to lay a little bit more organically. I didn't want it stuck to the face, so I ripped it off for that reason. I found this head sculpt, which is the 78. So if you take this head sculpt, you want to ship it to a custom artist, all that you got to do is shave the rest of the hair off, a little bit of alcohol, rub the glue off, and they will implant hair and paint it for you. Now I have a guy that can do this for you guys. If you guys want, just hit me up on my Instagram, and it ain't gonna be crazy. But I think that's awesome. I wanted a Trick or Treat 78 because I wanted to customize it. Now I have it. I mean, it's here. Just has a little bit of glue on it. That's all it is. Those aren't scratches. That's just glue. That's easy taking off. And they already started the process of sanding the hair down. So thank you. It's got the peg and everything. I was like, all right. And like I said, you guys got to be really careful tearing it off because you're going to stretch the material. But once I throw this, like maybe in a dry or something like that, in a wash and dry it, it'll be back to normal, and then I can drape it normally like a bob sheet should lay without it having the imprints of the face on there, and then I can put the glasses. So that was the main reason. So already a little bit of customizing to it, so that's cool. But one last look at the coveralls, man. I'm telling you, these things are absolute beauties. These things are absolute beauties. Like, very impressive. Awesome job. Proportioning's great. Like, you can't get much better than that. Come on now. Love all the stitch work. If I can get in, zoom in. Come on. There it is. The only stitch problem I had was right there on the collar, that little loop. If you guys can see it. Alright, guys. Alright, guys, so this is the Trick or Treat Studios Myers release. And I gotta say, a 9 out of 10. I think everything that they did was awesome. I definitely think they achieved what they wanted to achieve, even though this thing has a little bit of flaws. Still an amazing release, and you guys could do a lot with it. So, definitely gets a pass from me, and I can't wait to buy a few more just to customize and see what I can do. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'll probably post some pictures of this thing finished up with all the padding on my Instagram, so definitely follow me there. Description down below. Don't forget to join 16 Horror Facebook group if you guys want any more info on custom runs or want to see more stuff like this in our groups. Please join up. Just answer the questionnaire, answer all the questions. If you don't answer all the questions, we automatically think you're a bot and we deny you and agree to the rules, and you guys will be automatically let in. So till next time, guys, I want to say thank you, peace, and have a great time, and stay sick and conquer your own collection. Peace.